Put your personal ego aside and base the success of whatever you're doing on something that is tangible and measurable. I mean, that's my opinion on it. One of the interesting experiences that I had was actually running paid ads for a picture frame company. As simple as that.
So the brief came in, and the client objective, if I'm understanding and hearing correctly, was really to sell picture frames,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
What was the brand message?
They didn't have a brand message. All they wanted to really do is to sell picture frames.
Wow.
So in a sense, how this company worked is that they outsourced this video production, right, to 5 video production agencies.
Okay.
And just say, make whatever videos that you can, but just make sure that they sell picture frames.
When you're doing the campaign, you did very nice 4K slow-mo, and the people who shot with iPhones actually did better.
Yes.
Now that is interesting because whenever people talk about quality of content creation, they always they harp on the process itself.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about the content or the outputs. Now, from your experience in this campaign itself, do you have any insights as to why your sexy 4K slow-mo did so bad, but iPhone footage did good?
This process of actually knowing what video works, right, was humbling because you never know what video works. So you only know a video works when it's paid, when it's put through the process of paid ads to show the video to macro market
Yep.
and see their response in terms of click-through rates, CPCs, all that kind of stuff, average view-through duration. And if there's one lesson I learned, don't have the subjective call on whether a video works or not. Put some money, put some ad spend on it.
Yeah.
It can be as little as $50 per day.
Yep.
And you'll know between videos on which product messaging works better.
A lot of craftsmen or a lot of creators, they always fall into this dark pit hole that they will never rise up from, where they harp on the actual idea of the content. And then when they think so much about the idea, they actually forget about the fulfillment of the objective, And I mean, for your case, it's how can we sell as many picture frames as possible, right?
Yeah.
But some other brands, maybe they want to have brand exposure, they want to have top of mind recall, so their objective is very skewed differently.
Yeah.
I
mean, I wouldn't blame people who have put so much craft into what they do, whether they are illustrator, designer, videographer, right? But at least from my perspective, I'm a media analyst. What I do is the numbers speak for itself, and it's like how business isn't personal. It's not personal that your video doesn't work, but just that there is a KPI that we need to meet, and that's why I like what I do in terms of it's very, in a sense, very objective.
Yes.
Very objective.
A lot of the time, people need to put in the money for amplification.
Yes.
Because they cannot always depend on creating a good piece of asset, whether it's a very nice photo or a video, and then expect it to be great. A very good example is actually last year's Super Bowl, when GoPro actually only spent $400 to create their 30-second TVC.
Okay.
$400, okay? But they spent $5 million for amplification. To put it on the Super Bowl prime time slot. Now that is a very, very good example between content quality versus amplification. I always feel like content is just half the battle. Amplification is very important.
We need to spend advertisement money meaningfully. So this was one of the case studies that I previously worked on.
Wow, honestly, it sounds like it's a very cutthroat thing.
It is cutthroat. Does the math tell you that it's selling or not? If it's not, what can you do about it to make sure that you hit sales targets?
Correct.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to share in terms of amplification of assets and whether, honestly, whether companies should really talk about numbers as success or intangible rewards, Because I know as an analyst, it always boils down to the numbers.
Yes.
But is that important?
I would say it's important to have a fine line of both, actually. It's like paid media cannot exist without all the kind of brand building. A short-term boost, right? A short-term exponential boost of a company can be done through paid media, whether it's amplification or that. But to make things sustainable, you must have brand building in place.
So maybe from the numbers that you got, was it fresh or was it a failure?
From the numbers perspective, it was a failure. We didn't meet sales targets.
Oh, no.
ROS was much lower than what the client wanted, and it wasn't what the client wanted. So essentially, we got fired.
Oh, snap.
So it was definitely a failure.
Thanks for sharing.
No, thanks so much for having me. Thanks so much.
And thanks for being on the other F words. I hope that you get F'd up in a good ways,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and keep on keeping on, brother.